and all those who happen to watch another fun-filled episode of All Games Awesome. Today we're going to talk about the TurboGraphx16. This is also a response to all the PC Engine talk that those people from the Cool Kids Club, or better words is known as the KKK, has been talking about with their fancy expansion ports and their CD drives and all their fancy crap. Damn them. Damn them all to hell. Nah, I can't damn them. They're pretty cool, so I can't damn them. Damn it! Anywho, this right here is about the TurboGraphx16 anyway. The American side of the coin. Of course, mine's is a little bit scuffed up. I got this little beast for 20 bucks back in the process of day. When I saw this on Craigslist, I was thinking to myself, wow. But, you know, I just got this standard. It came with a controller, which, let me show you the controller. That's the most interesting thing of this console. Look at the size of that. Do a comparison right now. You'll have a heart attack. Size doesn't matter in this case, but this one got circumcised. TurboGraphx TurboPad is one of my favorites because it just feels right. I can't explain it. It has that Nintendo feel, yet it feels a little bit better, awkwardly enough. And the best thing about this console though, I only own about 4 games total. Donations are accepted, because you guys rock. But I got a little selection of games, obviously. Most of them varying from the launch title, which not a lot of people really like this game. I do though. It's a little bit tacky, but it gets the job done. And that's also the other interesting with CD-ROMs, and it dealt with, guessed it, cue cards. These little beauties were simple. They didn't really look too ugly, and the design art was actually pretty cool. As you guys can tell, this looks like a credit card, but it's a little bit more thicker than a credit card. But I guess for gaming on the go, you can put this in your pocket, even though I wouldn't really recommend that because they deserve to be placed inside cases. See, and that's the other interesting thing about the console as well. When it got released, it had these cool little CD cases, or these jewel cases, versus the Sega Genesis having the big bulky cases. They went one step further and included these cool little cases that came with your console game. Preferably, some of my favorites for the console are right here in front of me. Though sadly I can't afford Dragon Spirit or a few others that I actually do like Bonk's Adventure, which is a fundamental to actually owning anything from this entire console. Another thing I noticed as well with all the cue cards is that some of them are designed a little bit differently. I'll show you in a second. This card right here, these look the same, right? Same range for the black area. It doesn't take away from awesome quality of the game though. Another thing about this console that was pretty cool was its library. It had some of the best, and I don't care what anyone says, but it had the best horizontal and vertical shooters out there. It was some of the fundamentals that it could actually rival an arcade machine and take a run for its money. It also ported some of the best Neutron and Blazing Lasers. I apologize to parents who are letting their sons or daughters listen to this, but it just had to be said this time. The packaging art on this is, of course, so certain games, of course, are tacky and kind of, yeah. But in this case, this is pretty fundamentally cool. The packaging and the shelf display for this, which is pretty darn good. But this game, Sinatron, which is sadly the only game I own in the case format, has the bold letters. What the other best things about this is very simple. It uses just about the same plug-in from your Nintendo, which I'd really recommend using the Sega Genesis, even though it technically doesn't matter. But I have a turbo adapter, which sadly I don't own. For 20 bucks, a lot of people probably own some of these, got them used or whatever, and probably just got it like this. They're asking, what the heck is this even for? Well, the adapter that came up with this was for surround sound. Then you plugged in the CD adapter, which was the CD counterpart for this console. And of course, that was one of the best features of the console. Had a very successful CD-ROM attachment or add-on. Though everyone knows the tale of of course, TurboGraphx16 never sold versus the Sega. It's still arguably one of the company NEC who developed this personally felt that their advertisement was decent due to compare to a lot of people, because every single time I flipped over a Game Pro or a game magazine, I usually saw back in the day something to do with TurboGraphx16. I at least saw like a couple articles featuring the console and the video games like Box Revenge and Box 3. I'd seen these games, it's just no one was really interested in them at the time. So this was a little bit after the Atari was burning out as well on its last leg. But I ain't gonna talk crap about the Atari because that's a good system too. Just keep away from the 5200 and go to the 7200. That's 7200 is the best, one of the best models. Actually, the 2600. Anywho, I'll let you guys see this little console in action. The hookup is really simple as well. And the cool thing about the console is it's very compact, though just about the same size as the Sega Genesis. Very awkwardly shaped though, so you don't have the stereo adapter. Now, hooking up this thing is of course hooking it up on the side compared to the Sega Genesis and the Nintendo and any other console known to mankind, due to the fact the adapter hooked up in the back, so you had to obviously improvise for not putting it in the back. Clicks right in, very snug, very secure. This right here is the original plug. As you can tell, it's a little bit more bigger than normal cords. The other thing that's awesome about this is that it fits perfectly. Besides about this console, kind of like the cords for the controller were short, or fell short, versus hassle. So that's why a lot of the packages for the extender cords were sold quite frequently, even on eBay to this day. It's one of the more sought out attachments or add-ons for the console. Yes, you'll still probably find a couple, but good luck getting one cheap. Plug in the game into the system. Very easy. Very fundamental as well. Think of it as a jabbing version of the Game Boy. Of course, the Game Boy having its sliding feature, you push this in like it's a card key to your door to heaven. Some of the best. The best thing about this game overall is its music. And that this console is the best for the 16-bit. Long story short, this is one of the type of consoles you would want to own for your collection, but it's only if you can find it cheap. If you can't find it cheap, don't bother getting it. Though the price would kind of be varied to being quantity of a very successfully great console for a lot of collectors. As for me, it's awesome where it's at, because it's definitely an awesome, awesome console.